Hello and welcome. My name is Daniel Teague and I'm with Professor Ken Purnell in his office at CQUniversity. In this brief recording, I'll be asking Professor Purnell to outline Topic 1 in the unit Neurobiological Fundamentals of Brain Education. You might already know that the unit contains 6 topics, and what we're trying to do is to provide a brief outline, a recording of an outline of each topic as we progress through the term. So please check the Moodle site as often as you can for any updates of the sort. So to begin with, Professor Purnell, may I ask you to introduce yourself and also to say a few words about Professor
Peter Rousseau.
Peter Rousseau, who you co-authored the study material with for this unit.
Yeah. Just very quickly, I've been at CQUniversity now since 1991, so quite a while. And it was that year, in fact, that I graduated from the University of New South Wales with my PhD. And so there's, I held at 3 days of age my newborn baby son and my PhD, and I had to do a couple of very minor corrections on it, but that was in the area of cognitive neuroscience, and I've always had that interest in cognitive neuroscience. And one thing too, please, folks, do call me Ken. I like to be called by my first name, of course. Now, with this particular topic, we're getting a basic look at understanding the brain. And so very purposely, we've got some introductory videos that the students will find of great use. We've got 2 terrific textbooks that we're going to draw upon. One by Louis Cozzolino called The Social Neuroscience of Education and the Importance of the Social Brain. Many of the websites that the students will be looking at and videos and so on will be talking about the social connectedness of folks and the importance of that, and using those sort of inverted commas tribal instincts that we have to be able to grow. And of course your expertise in sociology say a lot more on that. The other one that we're using is by Nagel and Scholes, and that's a 2016 book, and that one is by Australian authors. So 2 interesting textbooks that we're drawing upon. So what we do to begin with is have a bunch of videos by Peter and myself. Now Peter is of course world renowned in his expertise in the area of neuropsychotherapy and of course in brain-based education. So a number of the students have actually done a session or sessions, and if they haven't with Peter, he features on a number of our videos in the unit so that you'll soon get familiar with the sorts of things that we're looking at. Now with the neurobiological fundamentals, we actually kick off, as I said, with a bunch of videos, and usually what we'll do is provide some readings and then have a look at the 2 textbooks, and if there's further resources we'll provide those below. But as a rough guide for students, overall they tend to spend around about 150 hours on a unit across the term of 12 weeks. And so when you add that up, it gives you time to look at and reflect and think about the various resources. Now, just one thing with the resources, up front in each of the units we provide videos with Peter in particular and myself on what we call integrative reflections, where you actually start to live and breathe the new knowledge. You speak to colleagues, you bore your family at home, you talk to your dog, you sort of sleep it almost. The notion that you're going to be able to change your actual neural functioning and all the rest of it as a result of becoming familiar with the various concepts. So there's a great video, for example, early on in this particular unit by Peter on the fundamentals, and of course the first chapters that we look at in those 2 books, we actually kick off with chapter 3 in Nagel and Scholes on understanding brain development, and then with the other one we kick off at the beginning, and Daniel Segal, who's very well known, writes the foreword there and has a number of things of great use for us to reflect upon as we commence our studies in the unit.
Great, thank you for that. So in terms of the a couple of key concepts that we cover in the first unit, do you have any thoughts on to share on that?
I think one thing that comes through quite strongly that the students will see is the importance of the social brain development experience and one's interpretation, reflection upon experience being a major determinant of changes in the neural networks we have. So we talk about things like neural proliferations and how they occur, getting, if you like, density of networks, so we become more expert in a particular area. One of the things I'll soon pick up on in the videos, though, is the concept of what we might call a thriving learning environment, which for a number is just normal. They do those sorts of things very effectively, as opposed to a fear-based one. And a lot of education activities and so on do unfortunately fall into the latter, and that has significant impacts upon the neurological formation of the brain and so forth that really are not wanted. So there's a couple of the key things about neuroplasticity, growth of neural networks, and also the thriving versus the compromised learning environments.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that. And of course, the first video that you'll find in the study guide provides an outline of the whole of the unit and also the course in brain-based education. And it's important to view that as well. So we'll try to keep these introductory videos short. And so thank you very much for that, Ken. And until next time, goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel.